The alien starship Lumina Orbitus floated silently in orbit above Velistra, a world infamous across the galaxy for its lethal ecosystem. Within its pristine command center, Captain Creon stood tall, his scaled hands clasped behind his back. His yellow, slit-pupiled eyes scanned the reports flooding his console. Velistra was uncharted territory, an unforgiving death world that had consumed every expedition sent to probe its secrets. "Deploy the human," Creon finally said, breaking the uneasy silence among the bridge crew. A ripple of discontent spread through the room. Creon's second-in-command, the avian-like Tarlik, leaned forward, his feathers bristling with anxiety. "Captain, with all due respect, we cannot trust a Deathworlder to represent us on Velistra. Their chaotic nature makes them unreliable." Creon's gaze didn't waver. Unreliable? Or simply beyond our comprehension? Commander Aaron Vance has survived environments no other species could endure. If there's anyone who can navigate Velistra's hazards, it's him. From the observation deck, Aaron Vance, the sole human on the Lumina Orbitus, overheard the exchange. A smirk played on his lips as he adjusted his survival pack. Years of working alongside alien species had taught him one thing: their opinions of humanity ranged from fascination to outright disdain. But Aaron knew better than to take it personally. Humans were an anomaly in the galactic community, a species forged by struggle, thriving in chaos, and unafraid of the unknown. The intercom crackled. "Commander Vance, report to the launch bay immediately." As Aaron strode through the sterile halls, he passed clusters of aliens who whispered behind his back. He didn't need enhanced hearing to catch words like reckless, barbaric, and lucky. He let their skepticism roll off him. Humans had been underestimated for centuries, and it always worked to their advantage. In the launch bay, a team of Creon engineers prepped the drop pod. One of them hesitated before handing Aaron the data slate containing Velistra's scant intel. "Are you sure you can handle this alone?" the Creon asked, his voice tinged with both awe and doubt. Aaron chuckled, strapping the slate to his forearm. "I'm a Deathworlder, remember? Alone is where we thrive." Minutes later, Aaron's pod detached from the Lumina Orbitus and hurtled toward Velistra's surface. The descent was anything but smooth. Gale force winds buffeted the pod as it entered the planet's atmosphere, and flashes of lightning illuminated jagged mountain ranges below. Aaron gripped the console tightly, his adrenaline surging, not from fear, but from excitement. Above, the bridge crew monitored his progress with bated breath. The atmosphere was dense with tension. One alien muttered, "He won't last an hour down there." Tarlik crossed his arms. His kind thrives on unpredictability. But even they have limits. Creon, unblinking, kept his gaze on the screen. Perhaps. But humans have a way of redefining limits. Let us see if Velistra is the one to break him. Or if he will break it. The trail led Aaron to a clearing, but it was unlike anything he had ever seen. The jungle opened into a vast network of interconnected structures, carved into the cliffs and camouflaged by the bioluminescent flora. The architecture was impossibly intricate, organic yet purposeful, as though grown rather than built. The air here felt heavier, charged with an unnatural energy. Aaron crouched behind a thick tangle of roots, observing the figures moving through the settlement. They were humanoid but entirely alien, thin, elongated forms with translucent skin that shimmered faintly in the dim light. Their movements were synchronized, almost mechanical, and they communicated through a series of rapid clicks and flashes emitted from bioluminescent nodes on their bodies. "Great," Aaron muttered under his breath. "A hive-mind." He activated his wrist-mounted scanner, but the readings were incoherent. The energy signatures here were unlike anything in the Coalition's database. The natives' bioengineered technology appeared to merge seamlessly with their environment. It wasn't just advanced, it was alive. Aaron's observations were cut short when a group of the natives suddenly turned in unison, their glowing eyes locking onto his hiding spot. They moved swiftly, their elongated limbs almost gliding across the ground as they closed the distance. Aaron raised his hands, his body tense but non-threatening. "Easy now," he said calmly, knowing they wouldn't understand his words, but hoping his tone would convey his intentions. The natives surrounded him, their synchronized movements unsettling. One stepped forward, tilting its head as it studied him. Its clicking sounds grew louder, the flashes on its body increasing in frequency. Aaron recognized the pattern. A test, a challenge. Reaching into his pack slowly, he retrieved a small survival tool, a universal translator prototype designed for first contact scenarios. Holding it up, he activated the device. The clicks and flashes began to filter through, translating into fragmented phrases. Stranger, outsider, anomaly. Aaron took a calculated risk. "I'm not here to harm you," he said evenly. "I just want to understand." The leader of the group paused, its glowing eyes narrowing. It gestured to the others, who immediately backed away, leaving Aaron and the leader alone. The translator struggled to keep up with the rapid communication, but Aaron caught key phrases: observe, evaluate, potential. The leader extended a spindly arm, pointing toward the cliffside structures. Aaron understood it as an invitation, or perhaps a test. He followed cautiously, aware that every move he made was being scrutinized. Inside the structure, the walls pulsed with a faint, rhythmic glow, and the air hummed with energy. The leader stopped before a large, crystalline formation that seemed to function as a central node for the hive-mind. As Aaron approached, he felt a strange pressure in his head, like 1,000 voices whispering at once. Suddenly, his surroundings shifted. His memories, flashed before his eyes. The harsh landscapes of Earth, the wars, the survival, the endless struggle of humanity to adapt and overcome. The hive mind was probing him, dissecting his essence. But Aaron wasn't just a passive observer. Humanity's greatest strength was its individuality, its unpredictability. He focused his thoughts, pushing back against the invasive presence, showing them not just survival, but ingenuity, empathy, and determination. The pressure subsided, and the leader stepped back, its bioluminescent nodes dimming slightly. The hive mind had seen something it hadn't expected. Unity through difference, the translator sputtered, struggling with the complexity of the message. Aaron exhaled, his mind racing. He hadn't just survived the encounter. He'd made a connection. The hive mind had recognized something in humanity that it had never encountered before. But before he could process the implications, the distant sound of explosions echoed through the jungle. Aaron turned toward the noise, his heart sinking. The Coalition's drones had likely been discovered by a rival faction of the Hive. The peace he had begun to establish was already under threat, and the fragile alliance could shatter at any moment. He tightened his grip on his survival blade, knowing that the next move would determine not just his survival, but the fate of the Coalition's relationship with this world.